unit digit method. Remember, there is some 4-digit, 5-digit number which ends with 5, and there's another number that ends in 3. Can you tell me what will be the answer ending in? Don't worry about the remaining part of the number, right? I only know that one number ends in 5, the other number ends in 3. Can I directly say the answer has to end in 8? Yes. Why? Always you add the units places first when you go for addition. So 5 plus 3, 8. Answer has to end in 8. What is going to be the tens place? We are not aware of, but definitely the units place is going to be 8. Similarly, subtractions. For example, 5 minus 3, let's say. This will end with what? 2. Because we will first subtract this one with the next one, right? Provided this is larger. This number has to be larger than the second one, right? So you understand that 5 minus 3 will give you 2. Likewise, multiplication, 5 and this number is multiplied with 3 or whatever it might be, 6, 2, whatever you take, right? One number ends in 5, the other number ends in 3. What will the product ending with? It will end with 5 because first we multiply the unit places. Going by the traditional method, what do? First multiply the unit places. Or even if you go by the smart method that we have learned in speed maths video, IXI technique or IX star XI technique. What do? First multiply, the vertical number there, unit places. So 5 into 3, 15. We take 5 in the answer, 1 gets carried forward. So the answer here will end with 5. Yes or no? Answer will end with 5. Division, for example, let's say one number ends in 5, other number ends in 3. Can you tell me what will come in the unit space here? What comes in the unit space? Simple. Look at this. 5 plus 3, 8. 5 minus 3, 2. Unit spaces. 5 into 3 will give you 5 with some value, right? There's some number here. Some 4-digit, 5-digit number everywhere, right? So likewise, here we have some 4, 5-digit number, some other number which have to be divided, right? Numerator by denominator. One ends with 5, the other ends with 3. Can you tell me what will come in place of question mark? But generally, when I ask this question in the class, I get variety of answers. For example, 5 by 3. Some say the answer will end with 5. Some say the answer will end with 9. Some say the answer should end with 0.67. And so on. Different answers. Now, I'll tell you what's the reason behind giving these answers. Right or wrong, we'll get to know. But let's understand what's the reason that they are giving these kind of answers. They say it may be 15. 15 by 3 is what? 5. Yes or no? We are not aware of the units tens place, but let's take it as 15. 15 by 3, 5. Or 45. Are you able to follow? 45 or 9 may not be possible. 45 by 3 is also 5. It will end with 5. But let's say 0.67. They properly divide 5 by 3. 5 by 3 is how much? 1.67. So the answer has to end with 0.67. See, the point here is all these answers are wrong. All these answers are wrong. Why? Here we have no idea about the tens place. If it is 15, if it is 0, let's say 0.5. 0.5 by 3, okay, 0.67. If it is 1.5, 15 by 3, 5. If it is 2.5, 25 by 3, 25 by 3 will be what? 8.33. If it is 35, it will be how much? 11.67. Are you able to follow? So the point here is we'll be getting different values. And moreover, these are all wrong answers because in all the previous cases, you can directly work on the unit spaces. Why? Addition, multiplication, subtraction, all these start from right to left. First we work on unit places, then we work on tens places, then we work on hundreds places, and so on. So that is the reason I can work only on unit places and tell you what's the unit space going to be the answer. But in case of division, do we do it that way? Do we divide the unit spaces first, then do we divide tens place, hundreds place, and so on? No, that's not the idea. Division, we take the number as a whole. Are you able to follow? When you divide, for example, let's say it is 145 divided by 23. Do we divide 5 by 3, 4 by 2, and 1? If that is the case, the answer should be what? 5 by 3 is 0.67, 4 by 2 is 3, 4 by 2 is 2, and 1 by 1 is what? This is what? Stupid. This is not the correct way of doing it. What do we do in that case? We take 23 as a whole. 23 is number that has to be dividing 145, or 145 as a whole should be divided by 23. So in case of division, understand the unit space method does not work. Question mark remains question mark. What does it mean? We don't know what comes in the unit space. It can be any value. It can be any value. It may be a decimal answer, or it may be 1, 2, 3, 4. It depends on what kind of numbers are given. So just follow this while solving certain questions, right? Remember, you can always understand the unit space when it comes to addition, subtraction, multiplication, but not in case of division. Now let's take some questions where you can generally solve using the bottommost rule, simplify and get the answer. But otherwise, if you go for unit space, maybe you'll be able to get the answers much faster, or you may be able to eliminate the wrong answer options. So let's look at some of the questions. 12 into 19 plus 13 into 8 equals to 15 into 14 plus question mark. So options are 124, 122, 126, 128, fifth option none. Now, let me tell you friends, because fifth option is none of this, unit space digit is actually not going to work. That may not help you in getting the right answer. But then definitely you'll be able to eliminate some of the answer options here. I'll tell you the reason. If you really look at the options here, first answer ends with 4, second answer ends with 2, third answer ends with 6, fourth one ends with 8, fifth one is none of this. Now, in the first 4 options, all the unit spaces are different, which means if I am able to find out the unit space of the given question, then I can verify which of them are right, or to put it right in a right way, which of them are wrong. We may not be able to find out the right answer, but we'll definitely be able to find out the wrong answers. And by any chance, if fifth option is also given as a number, then you're done. You don't have to simplify the whole part there. You can just do some verification, unit space method, and get the required answer. Let's see how it works. Here anyway we have to do the complete calculation as I've mentioned, because fifth option is none of this. But how can we apply unit digit method? For example, 12 into 19. Don't worry about what is 12 when multiplied by 19. Of course, you can do that. 12 into 19 will be how much? 228. 240 minus 12. That's very simple. Very simple for banker's choice students, because you have gone through that speed maths video. You know how to multiply these questions, these kind of numbers faster. But then apply unit space method. One number ends in 2, the other number ends in 9. 2 into 9, 18. So the answer has to end with 8. That's it. I know that this number ends with 8. Plus 13 into 8. 13 into 8 will be some value. 130 minus 26, 104, whatever it might be, right? But then don't worry about that. 3 into 8. Unit space here is 3, unit space here is 8. 3 into 8, 24. Answer ends in 4. So I can say that this number is going to end in 4. Now overall, if you look at the left hand side, one number ends in 8, the other number ends in 4. Can you say the answer ends with 2? Yes or no? Answer has to end with 2. 8 plus 4. One number ends in 8, the other number ends in 4. Overall, the answer has to end in 2, equals to something. What is on the right hand side? Let's look at that. So we very well know that the answer is going to end in 2. Here also you have to balance that part. One part, second part. First term, second term. Just try to balance that. 5 into 4. 0. 5 into 4 is 20. Answer ends with 0. So this is equal to 0 plus question mark. Now try to understand. Complete left hand side ends with 2. Right hand side we have got 2 terms. First term is 0. What should be the second term so that the unit spaces are balanced? Second term should be 2. Yes or no? 0 plus 2 will only give you 2. Is there any other possibility? No. So I very well know that question mark should end with 2. The answer has to end with 2. Verify from the options. At least in this case, we'll be able to eliminate 3 options. Yes or no? First option 124. Is it possible? Not possible. I am looking for unit space to be 2. Second option 122. You cannot mark this as an answer. What you can only say is possible, because the answer is ending in 2. It may be 122, 132, 142, 182, 112, 22, 32. Anything is possible. Possible. 126 ruled out. 128 killed. Fifth option always true. Because it is fifth option, there is always a chance that this may be correct, right? It may be 122 or 132. Now again, I'll repeat this point here. If you remember in the beginning of the session, I was mentioning that sometimes you have to take a chance. If you don't want to waste your time in doing that complicated calculation, or if you find it to be difficult, if you want to quickly move to the next question, or if this is the last 30 seconds of your exam, don't bother about doing the complete calculation. What do you do? Take a chance. Mark second option. I'm not saying that you will be correct. You may be wrong also, but then fair chances, 50% chances that this is the correct answer. Otherwise, this is the correct answer. Or if you think that no, this is not correct, none of this is correct, mark none of this. Any one of them has to be correct. We are not making a blind guess. I'm 100% sure that first, third, and fourth options are wrong. So that's the idea here. If at all you say that no, I don't want to take any chance, I don't want to take risk, I want either 1 mark or I leave it, I don't want to go wrong, then do the complete calculation. Complete calculation will not take much time. It will take about 30 seconds. Yes or no? 12 into 19 you know, 13 into 8 you know, add them. I don't have to explain all this. Speed maths, bottom mass, follow and you will get the answer. 15 into 14. What is 15 into 14? 210. Plus what? Will give you the answer. So that's how you can apply unit space method in answering some of the questions. Let's take 1 or 2 more examples. So complete solution if you want, I don't have to explain. Believe me, in all these questions that we have in the workbook, also in the banker choice book and training guide, questions on simplification, you can solve it. I mean, it's what? Addition or subtraction or multiplication or division, which you all are well aware of. What matters is how quickly you get the answer, how quickly are you able to multiply the numbers or divide or add or subtract them, right? So that's what we are trying to understand in this session of simplification, the smart ways of getting the answer, and follow the bottom-up rule. That is very, very important, right? Let me give you a question now. Look at this. Question mark squared plus 65 squared equals to 160 squared minus 90 squared minus 7191. I'll give you the options: 75, 77, 79, 81, and fifth option is none of these. Let's look at the solution now. How much time will it take? Ideally, if you want to do the complete solution, 65 square, 160 square, though easy, but it would take some time. 65 square, how much is 65 square? 4225. 160 square, it will be 6,40,000, right? Then 90 square. 90 square will be how much? 8,100. Then 7191. So you can do that simplification part and then take the square root, because this is question mark square. Remember, I told you, you have to be careful about these kind of questions, and you will be able to get the answer. So it would take about 45 seconds, not more than that, right? Even if you do the complete solution, it would not take more than that. But a smart way of getting the answer will help you arrive to the correct answer in just about 5 seconds, I can say, or maximum 10 seconds. What is that? Units place method. Look at this: 5791. So make some sense. Go for units place method. If at all you're ready to take a chance, because fifth option still is none of this. If all the answers are ending in 5, let's say, or all are ending in 7, then there's no point in going for units place method, right? So depending on the option, you have to select the method, right? Now, 5 square, when a number ends in 5, you very well know this from the speed maths video now. When a number ends in 5, its square always ends in 5. So I know that this number is going to end in 5. When a number ends in 0, its square always ends in 0. So this number is going to end in 0. When a number ends in 0, its square always ends in 0. So this is going to end in 0. And this is a simple number, direct number there, which ends in 1. So this number ends in 1. So 0, minus, and minus, right? Same signs, whatever signs are here. And question mark square plus. The left hand side anyway cannot be simplified because question mark there has to be calculated. Let's look at the right hand side. Yes or no? 0 minus 0 is 0. One number ends in 0, the other number ends in 0. So 0 minus 0 is 0. 0 minus 1. Now here comes a very important. 0 minus 1 is what? Minus 1? Yes, minus 1. 0 minus 1 is minus 1. But remember, there is a larger number. What do? We borrow 1. We borrow 1 from the tens place and we try to make it positive value. So 0 minus 1 is what? 10 minus 1, 9. I can say that this right hand side here ends in 9. I'll just repeat this. 0 minus 0 is 0. 0 minus 1, ideally it's minus, strictly speaking, minus 1. 0 minus 1 is minus 1. But here you are looking at the digits, units place. 0 minus 1. What do? We borrow 1 from the next place. So 10 minus 1 makes it 9. So this right hand side here is going to end in 9. Now try to compare this part with this part. Question mark square plus 5 should be equal to something ending in 9. Look at this. If I try to balance this, I want 9 to be the total. Already we have got 5 here. So what should be this question mark square? Question mark square should be ending in 4. Why? If this value ends in 4, 4 plus 5 makes it 9. Question mark square should end in 4. Now when does the square of a number end in 4? Look at this. This is a square. Something should come in place of question mark. That's what we are required to find out. Now what square will end in 4? Either the number should end in 2 or the number should end in 8. 2 square 4, 8 square 64, ending in 4. 12 square 144, 18 square 324, and so on, right? So either the number should end in 8 or should end in 2 or 8. Those are the possible answers. Answers should end in 8 or in 2. Look at the options. 75, not possible. 77, not possible. Not possible. Not possible. 100%, fifth option, none of this is the correct answer, which I am sure most of you have followed. You have got the right answer without doing the complete calculation. So this is how unit place method will help you out. Get to the point. I know that the answer should end in 4. 75 square doesn't end in 4. 77 square doesn't end in 4. 79 square doesn't end in 4. 81 square doesn't end in 4. What ends in 4 here should be the fifth option. None of this. Let's take one more quick question on this one. 398 into question mark into 7 is equal to 47,362. The options are 15, 13, 17, 19, none. What do? Go for unit space. The right hand side ends in 2. It's obvious that left hand side should also end in 2, right? But which has got a question mark there. So let's check. How is it possible? One number ends in 8, the other number ends in 7. When you multiply, the answer will end in 6. 8 into 7, 56. So the answer will end in 6. That means the product of 398 and 7 is going to end in 6. 6 into question mark should be equal to what? Ends in 2 here. Yes or no? This side ends in 2. Product of these two ends in 6 multiplied with question mark. Now, what should come in place of question mark so that the units place of that number when multiplied by the units place 6 here will result in 2? That's what we need to verify. Substitute the options one by one. Let's take 15. Assume 15 is the correct answer. If 15 comes here, what's the units place? 5. 5 into 6 is what? It ends in 0. What we want here? 2. Not possible. 3 into 6, 18. What we have here is 2. Not possible. 6 into 7, unit place here. 6 into 7, 42. 42 ends in 2. 6 into 7. That means this number when multiplied by 17 will result in an answer which ends in 2. Here also we have something ending in 2. So possible. This is possible. We cannot say that that's the right answer at this point of time, but possible. 90. 6 into 9, 54 ends in 4. What we want ends in 2. What are the possible answers? Either 17 or fifth option, none of these. Fifth option, none of these. Again, the same question arises. Which is correct? We have no idea. What we only know is first option, second option, third option are wrong. Now I would like to repeat the same point. It depends on you. If you're ready to take a chance, mark 17. Or if you don't want to take a risk here, if you want the complete solution, if you want the proper answer, right answer, go for the complete solution. Let me tell you what I do in this situation. I will say 17 is the right answer. I will not worry about fifth option on this. And I'm not doing any calculation here. I'm just trying to, apply the time management logic here. Look at this. If at all I do the complete calculation, how much time do you think will it take? It would easily take more than 1 minute. 47,362 should be divided by 398. Then it should be divided by 7. Division generally takes more time, and moreover this kind of division will take much more time. So the point here is, if at all I want to find out what comes in place of question mark following the complete procedure, it's going to take a lot of time, which I don't want to spend. I don't want to spend 2 minutes to get the right answer. I would be happy to lose 0.25 mark. I would be happy to go for that negative marking in 10 seconds rather than scoring 1 mark in 2 minutes or maybe more than that. So that is what you need to understand. In such situations, mark 17 as the answer. You may be wrong. You should be ready to go wrong. You should accept that, yes, there are chances that you'll go wrong, right? But 50-50, 50-50. We are not making blind guess. Again, the same point. First, second, fourth are wrong. Third option or fifth option. If at all you have a different thinking, mark fifth option, because even that may be correct. Who knows? It need not be 17. It can be 27. It can be 37. It can be 47. Mark fifth option. But then try to understand. Solving the whole question here doesn't make any sense. So if at all your idea is to get the right answer always, I would say leave such questions. If at all you don't want to take chance, if you are that candidate who always completes the question, then I would say leave this. There is no point in getting 1 mark in 2 minutes. Either leave it or do it in a smart way. That is unit space method. And if you want to just do some little verification to check whether 17 is possible or not, you can do an approximate calculation. For example, 47,362, can I take it as 48,000 approximately? 48,000, yes or no? 48,000. 398 is 400. 48,000 divided by 400. 48,000 divided by 400. How much is that? 120. 48,000 by 400, 120. 120 by 7. 120 by 7 is approximately 70. 70 into 18, yes or no? 7 into 17. How much is that? 7 into 17. What is 7 into 17? 190. 70 plus 49, 190. So the idea here is, even if we go for an approximate calculation, it clearly suggests that it should be around that 17, 18, or between 10 to 20. It cannot be 27. It cannot be 37, right? It should end with 7, and it should be in the range of 10 to 20. So obvious answer is 17 here. So I can say 17 is the correct answer. So try and understand. There will be certain questions in the exam where you have to take a chance, and you have to decide what those questions are going to be. Are you able to follow? And I don't say that blindly for every question do this. No. There are certain questions where you have to go for complete calculation. No other logic works. But then, in such cases, try to avoid wastage of time by doing the complete calculation, right? Simply apply unit space method or digital route, which I will be explaining next, and try to get the right answer. Try to get the most probable right answer, I would say, right? Instead of spending too much time and getting the right answer, exact answer, right? Let's take One more question. Now I'm going to give you a very typical question which most of the students would say we should leave it. As I've mentioned, remember friends, if you are not able to get the right answer in less than 1 minute, the best way to solve such a question is leave it. Simplifications or any other topic, if at all you find that no, in 1 minute I will not be able to get that 1 mark, the best way to solve such questions is leave it. Especially when it comes to topics like simplifications or approximations, number series, coding, because complete calculation or find the logic in coding and decoding would take how much time? You never know, right? It all depends on your speed. It all depends on how you think at that point of time. So there is one very smart solution for some questions. What is that? Leave it. Leaving a question does not mean that you have failed. It just means that you're respecting the question. Yes or no? Like batsman leave the ball, right? He's leaving the ball does not mean that he can't hit it. He doesn't want to, take that chance there, right? He's respecting the ball. That's a good ball. He's respecting the bowler. Right? He only waits for bad balls to hit, right? We also do the same thing. Look for easier questions. Complicated ones, which would take more than 1 minute, just leave them. Now I'll give you one question for which what you need to think is, do you want to solve or not, right? More than giving me the answer, the first thing that you have to decide is, should I solve it or not? Should I leave it or solve it? What will be the best solution? So 18,696 divided by 20,853 multiplied by 11,916 divided by 28,728 equals to what? Options are 181 by 331, 164 by 441, 155 by 246, 161 by 241, and the fifth option is none of this. Remember, units place method does not work in case of division, which is as in the given question here, right? So just think of it. What are you going to do? Do you want to solve it or leave it? I was mentioning that if you feel a particular question is going to take more than 1 minute, the best solution is just skip. I'll give you 1 minute to decide what will you do in such situations, right? Think of it. Is it worth solving or not, right? Can you really get the answer in a smart way? If there's no other smart way of getting the answer, because units place very clearly does not work. You can't say that 6 by 3 will end in 2, 6 by 8 will end in 2, and that cannot be done. It does not work in divisions. Let me show you the solution for this one. Ideally, I would say leave. There is no point in touching such question. This is what I get to know from most of the students, right? Most of the students, 95, 98% of the students in my class generally say that it's better to leave after I explain that concept of respecting good question. This is a good question. Do you think solving this question at all will give you the answer in less than 1 minute? No. 5-digit number by 5-digit number. Or if you go by multiplication first, 5-digit number has to be multiplied by 5-digit number. If you work on paper, that would easily take about 45 seconds. Another 5-digit multiplication, another 45 seconds. Around 2 minutes, 1.5 to 2 minutes gone in just doing the multiplications. And then you have to divide, which would take another 1-2 minutes. 3 to 4 minutes you spend. And then if you look at the options, all are typical. 181 by 331, 164 by 441. So maybe it would take a lot of time. Yes or no? Easily it would take 3-4 minutes. So the ideal decision, if you don't get a smart way of getting the answer, you better leave it. Don't even think of solving such question on paper, right? You are only going to make your life complicated if at all you start solving this on paper. So either you leave it or you do what I'm going to explain you now, right? How much time do you think? 4 minutes? That's what we have understood. Our estimation is that it would take 4 to 5 minutes. But if you are smart, you will get the answer for this question in less than 10 seconds. I repeat, yes, you will get the answer for this question in less than 10 seconds. And when I say less than 10 seconds, it's obvious that we are not going to do paperwork. We are going to apply some smart technique. And I would say there are chances that you may go wrong also, but you will be able to at least eliminate the wrong answer options. So let's look at this. What do we do? Units place method. Now you might be wondering, we very well know that units place does not work when it comes to divisions, but how do we apply it? Just think of it. First, simplify the numerator. 6 into 6. One number ends in 6, the other number ends in 6. Their product will end with 6. Yes or no? So we'll get some 8-digit, 9-digit number ending in 6. Look at the denominators. One number ends in 3, the other number ends in 8. When you multiply, their product will end with 4. Yes. So this will end in 4, right? 3 into 8, 24, and with 4. Equals to what? 6 by 4. Now when one number ends in 6, the other number ends in 4, the division will end with what? We don't know. We cannot say. Cannot be written in mind. Insufficient data. Why? Division, we take the number as a whole, right? So you cannot say 6 by 4 will end with 4. 16 by 4, 4. Or 36 by 4, 9. Or 6 by 4 is 1.5. No, those logics does not work here. Division you cannot apply. But friends, if at all you try to balance the unit spaces with the help of options, it must satisfy. For example, look at the first option. 181 by 331. Let's take 181 by 331. If at all this is the answer, division it does not work. But can I cross multiply and check the unit spaces on both the sides? Yes. For example, when you cross multiply, what happens? 6 will be multiplied by 331. That number ending in 6 multiplies with 331. And 181 will get multiplied with 4. And now the unit space have to balance. If at all that is the correct answer. See what happens. 6 into 1. 6 into 1. Cross multiplication, right? We are not checking with division. We are checking with multiplication. So we are taking the denominators to the other side and converting the question to multiplication. That is what is the logic that you need to apply here. So 6 into 1, 6 on the left hand side. 4 into 1, 4. Left hand side ends with 6. Right hand side ends with 4. Is it possible? Not possible. Go for the next option. 164 by 441. 164 by 441. This is ruled out. 6 into 1, 6. 4 into 4, 6. 4 into 4, 16 ends with 6. 6 and 6. Possible. Maybe this is the right answer. Go for next option. 5 by 6. Just look at this part. 5 by 6. So 6 into 6, 6. 4 into 5, 0. Not possible. 6 into 1, 6. 4 into 1, 4. Not possible. Either the answer has to be second option or it has to be fifth option. So what's the smart technique here? Cross multiply. In such cases, you can cross multiply and you can verify the unit spaces there. So you have to understand this. Again, remember, just knowing this, just being able to solve this does not, does not guarantee that you'll be able to solve all the questions in the exam. It all comes with practice. These smart ways will come to you only with practice. So the shortcut for simplifications is practice. The more you practice, the easier it gets. Right? Let's move on to the next question. So something which appears to be complicated. I'm sure most of you said we'll leave it. Most of you thought we'll leave it. Right? Look at this. I'm able to mark a probable answer. Again, fifth option, none of this is there. We cannot argue on that. Fifth option on this, always possible, right? But 1, 3, and 4 are not the answers. Either second option or fifth option. I'm ready to take that chance. When I'm getting the answer in 10 seconds, when I'm getting a probable answer in 10 seconds, for something which takes 4 or 5 minutes, I'll go for it. I'll mark second option. Either +1 or -0.25. If you're not comfortable with this, then leave it. Don't think of solving this on paper.